Welcome to our U.S. briefing program. Today, we dive into the shifting dynamics of international relations as President Trump makes key concessions to Putin ahead of crucial peace talks on the Ukraine conflict. European leaders are on edge, worrying about the implications for Ukraine's sovereignty as the U.S. seems to be distancing itself from its traditional allies. In another development, Singapore's defense chief has characterized the U.S. as a landlord seeking rent in Asia, reflecting a significant shift in perception. This change comes as Asian nations reassess their geopolitical strategies, navigating the complexities of US-China relations amid rising tensions and new tariffs. Finally, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has made headlines by suggesting the deployment of British troops to Ukraine as part of a peace deal. This proposal coincides with ongoing discussions among European leaders about security guarantees and the future of NATO's role in the region. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage on these pressing issues. CNN reports that ahead of crucial US-Russia peace talks in Saudi Arabia regarding the Ukraine conflict, former President Donald Trump has made significant concessions to Vladimir Putin, effectively ending the Russian leader's international isolation. Trump's administration has sent mixed signals, raising concerns among European allies about the potential exclusion of Ukraine from negotiations. As Trump hinted at a swift meeting with Putin, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed his refusal to accept any deals made without Ukraine's involvement. The situation has created alarm in European capitals, prompting France to convene an emergency meeting of key leaders. Critics worry that Trump's approach could undermine Ukraine's sovereignty and embolden Russian aggression, as evidenced by Trump's past calls for Putin's reintegration into global forums like the G8. The South China Morning Post highlights a shift in Asia's perception of the United States, with Singapore's defense chief describing the U.S. as transforming from a liberator to a landlord seeking rent. This change in sentiment follows Trump's unexpected moves to negotiate directly with Putin over Ukraine, raising fears among Asian leaders about America's commitment to its allies. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz's comments about seeking payback from Ukraine for its support have further fueled concerns. As nations in Southeast Asia strive to balance their relationships with both the U.S. and China, the evolving dynamics of U.S. foreign policy under Trump are prompting a re-evaluation of long-standing alliances. Foreign policy delves into the contentious issue of presidential impoundment, a process where the president withholds federal funds appropriated by Congress. With Trump determined to cut federal spending, his administration's actions could lead to a constitutional crisis reminiscent of the Nixon era. The 1974 Congressional Budget and Impoundment Act, designed to limit presidential power over appropriated funds, is now being tested as courts examine Trump's executive orders that pause spending. The potential clash between the executive and legislative branches raises questions about the future of budgetary control in the U.S., as Trump's expansive view of presidential authority could reshape the balance of power established by the Constitution. South China Morning Post reports that Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim emphasized the need for ASEAN to evolve its relationship with China, advocating for a shift from traditional trade to strategic technological collaboration and sustainable development. In his speech at the China Conference, Southeast Asia 2025, Anwar warned that challenges such as artificial intelligence and renewed American tariffs could destabilize the global economy. He stressed that ASEAN must not only react to global changes but take the lead in shaping its future, focusing on renewable energy, digital capabilities, and reducing vulnerability to external economic shocks. Anwar called for bold decisions and transformative partnerships to secure a prosperous future for the region. According to the New York Times, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer proposed deploying British troops to Ukraine as part of a peace agreement, marking a significant shift in the UK's stance. In an article prior to an emergency meeting of European leaders, he articulated the necessity of ensuring Ukraine's long-term sovereignty to deter future aggression from Russia. Starmer's offer comes amidst growing concerns over President Trump's bilateral negotiations with Russia, which appear to exclude European and Ukrainian voices. He urged European leaders to enhance military spending and support Ukraine's NATO aspirations, emphasizing that a strong U.S. security guarantee is crucial for any lasting peace. Al Jazeera highlights President Trump's potential meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss ending the war in Ukraine, a move that has sparked apprehension in Europe and Ukraine regarding the implications for territorial concessions. While Trump expressed optimism about Putin's willingness to negotiate, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned that peace would not be achieved overnight. The absence of Ukrainian and European officials from the upcoming talks in Saudi Arabia raises fears of a repeat of historical appeasement failures, as European leaders prepare for an emergency summit to address these concerns. Ukrainian President Zelensky firmly stated that any agreement must involve Ukraine, underlining the critical nature of their sovereignty in the ongoing conflict. Associated Press reports that Japan's economy has experienced unexpected growth, expanding at an annual rate of 2.8% in the last quarter of 2023, driven by robust exports and steady consumption. The Cabinet Office revealed that for the third consecutive quarter, the economy grew by 0.7% on a quarterly basis. Private consumption saw a modest annual increase of 0.5%, while exports surged by 4.3%, and capital investment also rose by 0.5%. This positive performance has buoyed the Nikkei 225 index and other Asian markets. Analysts speculate that the anticipation of President Trump's tariffs may have influenced trade dynamics. Despite ongoing deflationary pressures, recent wage growth has helped stabilize the economy, with inflation hovering around the Bank of Japan's target of 2%. The central bank's recent interest rate hike to 0.5% signals a potential shift in monetary policy, as stronger growth could lead to further increases. Associated Press also highlights Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to the United Arab Emirates, signaling a growing momentum for peace talks regarding the ongoing conflict with Russia. Following his attendance at the Munich Security Conference, Zelensky arrived in Abu Dhabi, marking his first visit to the UAE since the war began. His agenda focuses on securing the release of Ukrainian captives, fostering economic partnerships, and launching humanitarian initiatives. The UAE is seen as a potential venue for peace negotiations, given its history of facilitating prisoner exchanges and its significant expatriate population from both Russia and Ukraine. Meanwhile, Russian interests continue to thrive in Dubai's real estate market, prompting concerns from U.S. officials about the influx of Russian capital. Zelensky's visit coincides with discussions between Russian and UAE leaders, emphasizing the complex geopolitical landscape as both nations seek to advance their interests amidst the ongoing conflict. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Waking up to wonders, checking nature blunders. Got our rockets flying while the oceans are sighing. Lasers in the sky.